The FIA makes a final decision on Verstappen's intentional crash. Lewis is shocked with Ferrari pace, and Russell responds to Verstappen's statement. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Red Bull driver Max Verstappen has found himself at the center of controversy following a clash with Mercedes driver George Russell during the closing laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. This incident has sparked discussions about whether Verstappen should have faced more severe penalties, with former FIA steward and Sky F1 pundit Johnny Herbert adamantly asserting that he deserved disqualification. As the race was nearing its conclusion, Verstappen was directed by his race engineer to relinquish the fourth position to Russell. This followed a previous moment where Verstappen had taken to the runoff area to remain ahead. Initially appearing cooperative, Verstappen slowed his pace at turn 5 to let Russell through. However, he then accelerated into Russell, resulting in a significant collision. While Verstappen crossed the finish line in 5th place, he was subsequently demoted to 10th in the final standings due to a 10-second time penalty. This penalty not only affected his position, but also brought him perilously close to receiving a one-race ban, as he now faces 3 penalty points, just one shy of the threshold that could ground him for an entire race. The discussion around Verstappen's conduct has resonated beyond casual fans, drawing comment from notable figures within the sport. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 world champion, stated that Verstappen's actions warranted a black flag, indicating a serious breach of conduct. Herbert, a consistent critic of Verstappen's aggressive racing style, echoed Rosberg's sentiments, adding that the Dutch driver has an ongoing narrative of contentious incidents during races. Herbert emphasized that Verstappen is undeniably talented, regarded as one of the best drivers on the track, but asserted that this skill shouldn't drive him to race with such aggression. He expressed frustration over the incident, reacting to how Verstappen's approach to racing seems to overshadow his remarkable talents, with many incidents eroding the admiration fans might have for his skills. During the analysis of the Spanish Grand Prix, discussions became heated, with Herbert declaring that Verstappen's collision was intentional and another example of dangerous driving. He criticized Verstappen for how the crash unfolded, asserting that the driver's strategy to momentarily back out of the battle only to immediately dive back in was crossing a line and warranted a black flag. Interestingly, it was revealed post-race that Verstappen would not have faced penalties had he chosen to keep ahead of Russell. Red Bull's cautious handling of the situation, which likely stemmed from Verstappen's previous penalty in Saudi Arabia, resulted in a situation where caution may have contributed to his downfall in the race classification. The call for stricter penalties in Formula One is not new, but Herbert's comments reflect a growing concern about the growing aggressiveness seen in wheel-to-wheel battles on the track. As the discourse about racing conduct continues, the need for clear communication and consistent rule enforcement will be essential in the unfolding storylines of the upcoming races. This incident not only sparks debate about Verstappen's approach, but also highlights the crucial balance between aggressive racing and safety on the track. The upcoming races will surely be scrutinized, with eyes on how Verstappen and other drivers respond to these calls for accountability. Herbert emphasized that Verstappen possesses the talent for clear overtakes without resorting to aggressive tactics. He noted that the wheel banging seemed to stem from Verstappen's frustration over a previous incident involving Russell. Verstappen didn't gain a significant edge this time, unlike during his Saudi Arabia penalty, where he escaped with a mere 5-second punishment despite arguably deserving a harsher penalty. Herbert argued that the stewards need to take a firmer stance against such wheel-banging conduct on the track, labeling it unacceptable. He recalled past incidents that involved dangerous racing, pointing out that history showcases several legendary drivers clashing on track, and calling for an emphasis on clean racing over confrontational maneuvers. Reflecting on the recent clash, Verstappen acknowledged the situation wasn't ideal, admitting that his aggressive move shouldn't have happened. He described the race as a challenging battle, but recognized how emotions can escalate rapidly under pressure. Verstappen assured fans and teammates that he strives to give his all during each race, admitting that sometimes frustration can lead to on-track errors. His apology during the post-race debrief indicates a recognition of the team's need for cohesion, even when faced with difficult moments. Christian Horner, Red Bull's boss, supported Verstappen's sentiments, showing a united front moving forward. As the F1 world anticipates the upcoming races, discussions surrounding Verstappen's driving style and accountability will continue to unfold. It's a critical time for the drivers, with everyone watching closely to see how this situation influences future performances and safety protocols. Lewis Hamilton's tenure at Ferrari has certainly not got off to the start many anticipated. Following a challenging debut season, Lewis faced yet another tough race during the Spanish Grand Prix, where he finished a disheartening 6th at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. His struggles have been laid bare, especially as untelevised team radio revealed Charles Leclerc's pressure on Ferrari to impose team orders involving Hamilton. Despite outqualifying Leclerc for just the second time this season, Hamilton faced difficulties that plagued his race. Due to a slow start and struggling for pace, he was quickly instructed to swap positions with Leclerc early on. This strategic decision allowed Leclerc to eventually secure a podium finish, taking third place behind McLaren drivers Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. The Spanish Grand Prix illuminated more than just team dynamics. It raised several key points worth analyzing. After an eventful race, Hamilton initially crossed the finish line in 7th, but was later promoted to 6th after a time penalty was handed to Red Bull's Max Verstappen. This wasn't the first instance where Hamilton had to defer to Leclerc. Earlier in the season at the race in China, Hamilton also made way for his teammate. The footage from Barcelona showed that Leclerc was vocal in pushing Ferrari to make the swap happen, emphasizing the urgency to not lose time on the track. "We are losing time," he remarked early in the race as he sought a solution to get back on pace. As tensions built, Leclerc reiterated to his race engineer Brian Bozzi that he sacrificed his qualifying position the previous day for this very moment to optimize their race strategy. His decision to do a single run in Q3 meant sacrificing his starting position, and he made it clear to Ferrari that he was not about to get held up behind Hamilton. "Guys, I'm sacrificing my quali to be fast in the race. It's not to then slow us down in the race," Leclerc asserted, highlighting that he needed clear air to showcase his speed. On lap 10, the moment came when Hamilton was instructed to let Leclerc through. The 7-time world champion complied and eased off, allowing Leclerc to pass unchallenged into turn 1. What does this all mean for the future of Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari? The pressures of team dynamics and performance expectations are mounting. The world of Formula One is unforgiving, and Hamilton's legacy is one that comes with its own set of weighty expectations. As Leclerc's call for a sacrifice echoes, it's clear that Hamilton has to navigate these challenges with both skill and strategy. The journey ahead is pivotal for Hamilton, and how he adapts to the evolving team scenarios at Ferrari will be instrumental in defining his career arc at the Scuderia. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor the unfolding drama of this season's Formula One. After the race in Barcelona, Lewis Hamilton candidly expressed his frustration, declaring that his Ferrari SF25 was the worst it's ever been. It was a tough day for him, and he admitted to the media, "I have no idea why it was so bad. Worst race I've experienced, balance-wise." His woes didn't end there. Hamilton described his race as a difficult day and even questioned if Ferrari would find answers to his performance issues, suggesting, "I'm sure they won't." This self-reflection hints at underlying struggles he faces within the team. Nico Rosberg, Hamilton's former teammate and 2016 world champion, reacted with concern, calling Hamilton's performance shockingly bad. Rosberg pointed out Hamilton usually excels in races, but found him unusually slow this time. He speculated about potential issues, like damage to the car's floor, which can significantly impact performance. "It's a very dark situation," Rosberg concluded, highlighting the pressures Hamilton faces, especially when his teammate performs better. As the season progresses, the focus will be on how Hamilton will address these challenges and whether he'll adjust his approach moving forward. Join us as we keep an eye on the latest developments in Formula One and Hamilton's journey with Ferrari. The story is far from over, and we're here to bring you all the updates. Lando Norris, the McLaren driver known for his playful nature and quick humor, has once again showcased his wit in the midst of racing drama. During the recent Spanish Grand Prix, he made a cheeky remark about George Russell's controversial maneuver against Max Verstappen. Captured on television, Norris quipped that Russell turned in on Verstappen, perfectly highlighting the tension that unfolded on the track. As the race heated up, Verstappen and Russell reignited their rivalry in the later stages of the Grand Prix. Their competitive spirits collided at Turn 1 shortly after the restart, resulting in some dramatic contact. This incident certainly caught the attention of fans and pundits alike. In the aftermath of the clash, Verstappen found himself needing to regain his position after veering off the track to keep his spot. His race engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase, instructed him to let Russell pass to avoid a penalty. However, the shift in positions was short-lived as Verstappen ultimately made firm contact with Russell, leading to mounting tensions and a key decision from the stewards. Following the race, Verstappen was handed a 10-second penalty, a significant blow that dropped him from 5th to 10th in the final standings. This decision added yet another layer to an already intense race and further deepened the narrative surrounding the rivalry between Russell and Verstappen. Turning our attention to the overall results of the Spanish Grand Prix, Lando Norris finished an impressive second, chasing down the victory as his McLaren teammate, Oscar Piastri, claimed his 5th win of the F1 2025 season. With Piastri extending his lead in the championship, he now boasts a 10-point advantage over Norris after 9 thrilling races. Not to be overlooked, McLaren solidified their dominance in the Constructors' title race, holding a commanding 197-point lead. But let's not forget the background to the rivalry between Russell and Verstappen. Known for their contentious relationship, the two have been engaged in verbal battles that heated up during the closing weeks of the previous season. Russell's fierce desire for fair play was evident when he perceived Verstappen's actions in qualifying for the Qatar Grand Prix as overly dramatic, leading to accusations of gamesmanship. During the season finale in Abu Dhabi, tensions boiled over, with Russell openly critiquing Verstappen's behavior, stating that he was going too far now. As the season progresses, this rivalry is one to watch, especially with Norris now firmly in the mix, adding his lighthearted commentary to the fray. How will these dynamics unfold in future races? It's clear that the world of Formula One is not just about speed on the track, it's also about the personalities that drive the sport forward. With a blend of humor, competition, and the ever-tightening championship battle, fans can certainly expect more thrilling moments ahead. As the excitement continued post-race, Lando Norris and George Russell were seen exchanging banter in the TV pen. Norris couldn't resist poking fun at Russell's collision with Max Verstappen, exclaiming, "Was that you and Max together? I can't believe you turned in on him like that. That was crazy." With his trademark quick wit, Norris joked with a nearby reporter, stating, "George should have got a penalty. It's clear." It's moments like these that highlight the lighter side of racing, even in the heat of competition. Norris's quips didn't stop there. He humorously likened that intense on-track clash to a move from the popular video game Mario Kart, while chatting with fellow drivers Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc in the post-race cooldown room. "I've done that before, in Mario Kart," he laughed, providing a much-needed dose of levity after the race's roller coaster. But while Norris kept the mood light, the seriousness of the incident between Verstappen and Russell was felt by all. The podium finishers were shown highlights of the race before the ceremony, where drivers expressed shock at the aggressive move. In a world where tensions can run high, it's refreshing to see drivers interact with humor while also addressing the gravity of their races, showcasing a fascinating blend of camaraderie and fierce competition that defines Formula One. As the season progresses, who knows what other unforgettable moments await? Stay tuned. Lance Stroll's recent injury update comes as a concern for fans and the Aston Martin team. The Canadian driver remains uncertain for the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix, particularly after missing the recent Spanish GP due to a wrist injury. After qualifying at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, Stroll reported significant pain in his right wrist, prompting his medical team to recommend withdrawal from the event. Following this advice, he stepped back from the race, leaving many to wonder about his condition. To address the injury, Stroll has undergone a procedure performed by esteemed doctor, Dr. Xavier Mir, known for his expertise within the MotoGP grid. Dr. Mir previously assisted Stroll following an injury in 2023, lending additional credibility to Stroll's recovery efforts. However, even with this intervention, uncertainties linger regarding Stroll's availability for his home race in Montreal. The Canadian Grand Prix is just around the corner, with opening practice beginning on June 13th. Stroll's recovery time is slim, and if he isn't fit to race, Aston Martin faces a difficult situation with their reserve drivers. Both Felipe Drugovich and Stoffel Van Dorn, the team's backup options, are scheduled to compete in the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans, creating a scheduling clash. This weekend presents a logistical challenge for Aston Martin, as the Le Mans event activities kick off much earlier than the Canadian Grand Prix. With pre-event scrutineering starting on Friday and the on-track test day occurring shortly after, the team will be scrambling to adjust if Stroll cannot make it to the grid. Given the multitude of factors at play, Stroll's fans and the Aston Martin team are left anxiously awaiting updates on his recovery and the decision-making process for the Canadian Grand Prix. Can he recover in time, or will Aston Martin need to reconsider their driver lineup? Time will tell as June 13th approaches. Lance Stroll's recent withdrawal from the Spanish Grand Prix has raised eyebrows and left Aston Martin in a tight spot. The team reported that Stroll was suffering from pain in his hand and wrist, leading to concerns about his condition ahead of the race. In 2023, Aston Martin had originally brought in Drugovich during preseason testing, as Stroll was recovering from surgery on his right wrist. Remarkably, he returned to racing just 10 days post-operation, showing incredible determination and commitment. However, during the Australian Grand Prix, Stroll admitted that he was still grappling with lingering effects from the surgery. This past weekend in Spain, reports indicated that Stroll appeared to aggravate his injury following a frustrating qualification, which saw him finish in a disappointing 14th place. While tempers were flaring in the garage, Aston Martin clarified that Stroll's injury was not a result of this emotional outburst. A spokesperson for the team acknowledged that Stroll was upset, but assured fans it was unrelated to his wrist and hand pain. The FIA has put Aston Martin on alert after Stroll failed to make the official weigh-in, marking another layer of uncertainty for the team. As preparations for the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix unfold, fans and analysts alike are left questioning who will partner with Fernando Alonso. Aston Martin has yet to announce any replacements, leaving many anticipating what will happen next as race day approaches.